Well guys, Jeff here. Really hot day today, super humid, still better than being in the office. And today we're out and we're testing, as you can see, the Yamaha Niken. Look, people ask, is it a car? Is it a bike? Is it a trike? You know, what the hell is it? So I've been riding it for nearly a week, and I am going to call it a bike. Because even though it's got three wheels, it leans over, it doesn't stand up on its own when you take it off the side stand. It's not a trike. And it feels like a motorcycle when you ride it. So it's a bike, but everyone I nod at as I'm riding down the road, nobody nods back and nobody waves back. They treat me a bit like a car driver. Anyway, the question on everyone's lips is, what's the bike like to ride? Everywhere I go, everywhere I stop, people come up to me and ask me what it's like to ride, which of course they would. It's a freaky looking thing. There's none around. There's hardly any. I haven't seen another one. And I always ask them, well, first question I ask is, would you buy one? And most of them say, no, I don't think so. And then I have a bit of a chat to them and they say, oh, maybe it would be okay. So I came into the test pretty skeptical. I'm not a big three-wheel person. I like traditional motorcycles, and I'm a front end rider. I ride on the front. I need front confidence to push. That's the way I always raced. That's the way I test. That's the way I ride. I have to have a bike with a good front end. There's not that feeling obviously with this because it hasn't got a traditional front end, so you don't kind of get that feedback, that reassuring feedback you would get from a well set up motorcycle with good geometry and good suspension. But what you do get is you get grip. So you just have to trust it at the start, and you soon discover very quickly that there's a big limit on this bike, and you can get to it really fast. As in, you don't have to muck about warming up your tyres or doing anything like that. You just get straight on the thing and you literally can just throw it straight onto its foot pegs. I've worn the foot pegs out. They're just, this side particularly is like a half a foot peg. So that's a benefit. However, can you crash it? Yes, definitely. If you go too far, you have front end losers, just like on a normal motorcycle. So you can be halfway around a corner, sort of start feeding on the power, and the inside wheel will tuck. And you'll feel it through the handlebars just like you do on a normal motorcycle. And you're probably at a place where if you're on a normal bike, you'd probably hit the deck, unless you're on the racetrack and you could pick it up on your knee. Whereas on this, it kind of transfers that to the outside wheel, because the inside wheel leans more than the outside wheel. So it slips and grips, and then you're kind of all right. But it's a bit scary. It's hard in mouth type thing, and it is there. The limit's not that deep into pushing. So I've found I start pushing on it, I get to that limit, and I just let it do that, which was a bit uncomfortable at first. But today it's hot and greasy, the roads, and the tyres are a bit worn out, and I've just been letting it drift around. What does let go before the front is the rear. You've got so much grip at the front, and obviously the back tyre's going to struggle a little bit to keep up with that. So it's always on the traction control. It doesn't have the power to spin up. It's only the MT09 motor detuned with a bigger flywheel, and it's a heavy bike. It's got slightly lower gearing, but it still won't spin up. But it does start moving around on the traction control, which gets the back bouncing like this, and there's not a lot of rear rebound control in the shock. So the rear end slows your progress and speed before the front end does. If you put an Öhlins shock in this and set it up and put a stickier back tyre on it, it'd be phenomenal. Braking, obviously with small wheels, I can't have enormous brakes, but it's got two discs, two calipers, 4-piston calipers. Brakes are reasonably good. You've got to give them a big squeeze. There's not the same feel you would get out of a normal front end, but you can feel those tyres squirming around a bit. It's got the good ABS system, but I'd prefer a radial pull master cylinder, so hopefully the next model has one of those, just for a bit more power there and a bit more initial bite. It's just got a cable clutch action smooth. It's got a quick shifter. The quick shifter doesn't work very well at all. I haven't really been using it because it's basically only works when it wants to. So I'd say there's just a problem with this one. Standard rear brake. It likes a lot of rear brake. It performs well on the rear brake. It likes the rear brake input, which is good, like any sort of big sports touring bike does. Seating position is pretty comfortable. It's very tall. I mean, I'm tall. I'm 187 centimeters. And this seat's only 820, but because the seat's so wide, I can only just touch the ground. It's about 260, I believe, so it's quite top heavy, and low speed steering, you can really feel that. The best explanation would be it feels a little bit like a bike with a notch in its steering head bearings at low speed. You kind of just got to try and keep it straight, and as soon as you get over 30 kilometers an hour, it changes into, it just feels like a normal bike. So yeah, initial turn-in's really light, really fast. You can just chuck it straight on its side. It doesn't fall on its side rapidly or anything like that. It's really progressive. Doesn't have any stand up on the brakes, which is awesome. And you can just hit those mid-corner bumps and not worry about it at all. Like I said, it's just the rear end that doesn't deal with it. The other advantage is leaves, debris on the road, a few damp patches, things like that. You just go over them like you're in a car. It's got good fueling, but I've been riding it around on mode 2 all the time because mode 1's choppy and mode 3's just kind of for the rain, but mode 2 feels the best in all situations. It's got traction control, a couple of levels plus off. It's fun if you turn it off. You can do wheelies and rolling burnouts. I wouldn't do those, of course. But you can, but I've been leaving that on level 2 as well. So, but yeah, comfortable seating position. Seat's a bit wide, no vibrations or anything like that. Plenty of pillion room, good grab rails, side stand's easy to access. Dash is really simple. It's just LCD, but it does the job well. It's got everything you need. It's got a power outlet here, but it's not a USB. It's got a really small screen, but the air goes straight over your head. And the mirrors are the widest part of the bike. And if they were on the handlebars, they'd be ugly, but they'd be much better. There's actually a mount here for the mirror, but there isn't one on this side. But anyway, dash is good, power outlet, it's comfortable enough. And yeah, so all the technical details on the bike you can see here. So would I buy one? Would I own one? I would, but it would not be my only bike. I'd have one for fun. I'd have one to ride on those days when it might be a bit drizzly or the roads I'm going on are crap and I want to be a bit lazy and just chuck a bike around. But if I want to be challenged and I want to enjoy that thrill of motorcycling and that one man and machine thing or woman and machine thing, I'd stick to the two-wheel bikes myself, because you're a little bit disconnected from the motorcycle. So you get the same experience as you get on a motorbike, but you're a little bit disconnected. So it'll be interesting to see where Yamaha go with these, how they go with servicing. The price is certainly pretty good, I reckon. I mean, it is 10 grand more than an NT09, but it's, you know, half these bikes like this prototype or futuristic style bikes are so expensive, and this thing's not too bad, if you ask me. Servicing's supposed to be not too bad either, they reckon. There's just a few services where you have to get that front end greased up. And anyway, yeah, overall, interesting machine. I would own one, but only as a second bike. I'll be interested to see what Yamaha do with these in the future and how they go. It's very good fun. Anyway, check out the full review on BikeReview.com.au. And thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, give us a like, and tell us your thoughts on this thing. Have a top day. See ya.